Saturn in Pisces, 2023 to 2026, all signs or ascendants. Now, Saturn in Pisces, Saturn is connected with structure. It is connected with the 10th house, our aims, our goals, and our ambitions. Sometimes Saturn rules restriction and delays, but Saturn has integrity. Saturn is a hard worker and very responsible. Now we've got Saturn in Pisces, and that will be in the sign of Pisces from March 7th, 2023 through May 24th of 2025. Then after the retrograde stage of Saturn, it will then go back into the sign of Pisces from August 31st of 2025 until February 13th of 2026. So about 3 years. And oh boy, what a time it will be. Saturn in Pisces. Pisces is connected with the 12th house. It is connected with our intuition, our psychic gifts. Pisces is a visionary. Pisces is the essence of charity and giving, compassion. So during this time, we will explore all these areas. Saturn in Pisces is about seeking, counseling, and to reach out to those to help us to discover our fears and phobias. Saturn in Pisces, they say, sometimes can help us to see what is really best for us because it gives us a heightened intuition and a need to go within and do serious soul searching. Saturn in Pisces is connected with the 12th house, surgeries, medicine, conventional or alternative, and the like. Saturn in Pisces will find a cure. Now, looking ahead to a Saturn in Pisces with each of the rising signs. So, with an Aries rising, you will have Saturn in Pisces in your 12th house. So, Aries rising, this is a time that you may find that you have to go back into the past because the 12th house also deals with the past and discover what really makes you happy. You will have to put a closed door on the past. But this is good because Aries rising, you will find during the time of Saturn in Pisces that you will have to go within and discover your fears and your phobias. But because Neptune is such a visionary, Aries rising, it is going to be a wonderfully creative time for you. You may find that this is a time when you want to go within and write down those thoughts and those feelings. And it is a very feeling time for you. This is the time for you, Aries rising, when you will reach out to get help or help others and counsel or counseling. It is a time for you, Aries rising, when you will have to explore some of your doubts because at times with Saturn's presence in the 12th house, you will find that sometimes you feel a lack of self-confidence or self-esteem. But on a positive scale, Aries rising, this is the time for you to meditate. It is a time to discover your psychic abilities, your occult beliefs, or not, for that matter, or your spirituality, your philosophy. It is about reflecting and going within. But you will find after Saturn leaves the sign of Pisces, you will discover and find out all about yourself, your needs, and your wants like never before. And when you come away from this time with Saturn in Pisces, you will be more confident and more aware. So, this is also a time, Aries arising, where you will possibly be connected with groups and charities, which you will find rewarding. But with Saturn in Pisces, Aries, this is a time where at the end of the day, it is about helping yourself and others. And we move along to the next sign of Taurus. Those of you that have Taurus rising, you will have Saturn in Pisces in your 11th house. And Saturn does rule restriction. So, yes, there are going to be times Taurus rising, similar to Aries rising, when you may feel alone because Saturn with the 11th house is about groups and organization. And Saturn sometimes has a tendency to be very reserved or to restrict. So, right now, Taurus, don't be afraid, Saturn in Pisces, of revamping some of your group connections or your friendships. Right now, Taurus rising, you may find that yes, some of your friendships may go away for now. You may find that some of the people that you trusted, well, that you will just have to move beyond because Saturn is about teaching us lessons and showing us what is right and what is wrong. But Taurus, this time with Saturn and Pisces, you will come away with discovering who is more meaningful for you and who is not. Yes, there could be delays and setbacks with group connections that could include social media and the like. But of all things, Saturn in Pisces teaches us about humility and integrity. And Taurus rising, you during this time are of no exception. You will equally have many admirers and friends. Although you will close the book on them, you will also be gaining lifelong friends and acquaintances now. This is the time where you will take the time to plan your future because the 11th house is about our goals and aspirations just the same. So while you are plugging away at what you want, after this time of Saturn's reign through the sign of Aquarius, you will come away with much success. And this is also a time because Saturn is in Pisces, is to discover your fears about connecting with many people at this time. This is a time Saturn uh, in Pisces with your Taurus rising is where you just want to at times just be alone, because we're talking Saturn in Pisces is about reflecting and soul searching. However, at the end of Saturn in Pisces Taurus rising, you will get a grip on who and what means the most to you. You will see what your goals are and you will accomplish much. And hey, whether you have new admirers and friends, or during this time, Taurus rising, you choose to go alone, you will, at the end of Saturn in Pisces, find much more success and a following than ever before. So the next sign we move to is Gemini. Okay, we see that here. Gemini ascendant. And Gemini for you, Saturn will be in Pisces in your natal 10th house. Oh, wow. For you, Saturn in Pisces, Gemini rising is about hard work. You're really going to be plugging away at gaining respect and accomplishing those goals and aspirations you have set out to do. But do be careful, because Saturn can sometimes, Gemini rising, be connected with stress and strain and overwork. So you want to make sure during this time, Gemini rising, that you don't overdo it. But nonetheless, after the reign of Saturn in Pisces for you, Gemini rising, you can guarantee you will be of great success and see many accomplishments. But for you, because Saturn in Pisces is connected with fears and phobias of sorts, don't be afraid of hard work. Don't be afraid of putting yourself out there, because Saturn in Pisces is with the 10th house. So you may be a little bit more concerned than usual about what other people think about you. And this is one area during this time of Saturn in Pisces that you will need to explore. Nonetheless, it is a time of great success and many rewards for you, Gemini rising, after and during the time of Saturn in the sign of Pisces. Next, we are going to look at Cancer on the rising. And Cancer for you, Saturn is going to be in your 9th house. So this is a time, Cancer rising, where you are going to revamp some of your personal beliefs and philosophies. And honestly, with Saturn there, you may question that some of your philosophies, spirituality, beliefs are outdated. This is also a time for you, Cancer rising, of possibly going back to school. And yes, there will be a lot of hard work connected with research or your education. And that can also include with your job, but especially if you have Pisces on the midheaven, similar to the Gemini rising, you will find much in the way of success, rewards, and accomplishments for you, Cancer. But yes, it is a time of study and working hard to gain all the success that you desire. But with you, some of your fears and phobias could be connected with that, connected with your reputation, or maybe you're feeling like you're changing careers and you're not really sure if you are doing the right career. But rest assured, no matter what, just keep plugging away at some of those beliefs, plug away at study, and really work hard for what you want. And at the end of Saturn's reign in Pisces, you, also Cancer rising, will see much in the way of personal success and accomplishment. So, moving along, we have the next sign here of Leo. And Leo rising, Saturn in Pisces is going to be in your eighth house. And the eighth house is a very deep house, Leo rising. So, right now, yes, you're really going to be discovering what life means, possibly the occult. Yes, your spirituality, uh, intimacy, and the meaning of life, life and death, beginnings and endings. And during this time for you, Leo rising, you may see much in the way of beginnings and endings. And some of your fears could be connected with endings or beginnings or transformation. But similar to the 12th house, Leo rising, you will be going within. Perhaps this is the time where you are going to reach out to others and do a little bit of counseling and self soul searching. But don't worry, because after the time of Saturn in Pisces, by doing a little bit of self discovery, going within to see what makes you tick, so to speak, you will come away, Leo rising, with also much in the way of confidence and self assurance if you work at it during this time. But you will also find that you will develop deep connections with those closest to you. Now, the next sign we're going to look at is Virgo rising. And with Virgo rising, Saturn is going to be in your 12th house. So, yes, excuse me, your seventh house, Virgo rising. So, Virgo, the seventh house is about relationships. And yes, Saturn is about delay or that which connects with restrictions. So, yes, during this time of Saturn in Pisces, you will have to do some work with regards to relationships. But although some people will be leaving your life at this time, there are also going to be individuals who you will welcome with open arms in your life at this time. And you will discover who really has your best intentions at heart and who does not. So there is the good during this time with Saturn in Pisces. So your fears and phobias, Virgo rising, will be connected with relationships. Perhaps you will have to go back into the past and correct some relationships. There's going to be relationships from the past that will return to your life. But yes, there will be delays. But Saturn, as with all signs and ascendants, no matter what house, is a teacher. So there will be lessons for you during this time, Virgo rising, to learn from those relationships, and you will become much wiser in the long run after Saturn in Pisces. The next sign we will look to is the sign of Libra on the ascendant. And Libra with you, Saturn and Pisces will be in the sixth house. So you will have a little bit of some frustration or delays connected with work and job. Maybe you will have to find better ways of connecting with those in the workplace. And some of your fears, a Libra rising, will be connected additionally with health and well being. But Saturn always has a lesson. And the lesson here, Libra rising, is to take care of your health and to be very watchful. It's also about the workplace and making sure that everything is up to snuff with your job and with coworkers. And also, the sixth house is connected with pets. Maybe you have some lessons to learn with your animal friends and pets in your household. But whatever you learn during this time connected with health and well being will teach you much after Saturn leaves the sign of Pisces. But it always teaches a lesson, but you will come away with a really positive outlook and much in the way of confidence with your well being and your happiness. Libra rising. Then we have the next rising sign of Scorpio. And Scorpio is a water sign like Pisces Saturn. But nonetheless, Saturn will be in your natal fifth house, Scorpio rising. So, yes, you may have some issues with children, and that can be young children or it can be grown children, however that may be. And maybe there are going to be times, Scorpio rising, when you want to take those vacations and you just want to kick back and have a little fun. And you may find Saturn, with regards to restrictions here with your fifth house, may put the brakes on fun for you right now. Or it's going to be the opposite. Sometimes the teacher Saturn is telling you, well, maybe you must get a little bit more serious and not do too much gambling, speculation, or too much on the fun behalf. But your fears here with Saturn in Pisces, Scorpio rising, are going to be connected with the fifth house. Perhaps you may go through a little bit of some stress and strain because maybe you might be overworking, even though Saturn is in the fifth house. Or there will be a thought of expanding your family right now. And any issues connected here with pregnancies, children, and fun, and some of your fears connected with gambling and speculation over the next few years after Saturn leaves Pisces, you will feel much lighter and a lot less serious. Don't take fun too seriously. Just kick back and have as much a good time as you can with this serious reign of Saturn in Pisces, Scorpio rising through your fifth house. Then the next sign we have rising is Sagittarius. And Sagittarius, Saturn will be in your natal fourth house. So your restrictions or your fears or the lessons that you have to learn, Sagittarius, over the next few years will be connected with home and family. And that can also be your physical home. So be very security minded with your home. Maybe you're going to feel that you've got much in the way of repairs or restoration now with Saturn in Pisces. And because we're talking Saturn in Pisces, do be cautious and mindful of plumbing or anything that is connected with your house with water. Sagittarius rising, because Sagittarius, you will notice that some of these setbacks could deal with your actual abode. And what else is Saturn in the fourth connected with Sagittarius rising but your family? So, yes, some of the setbacks or concerns, phobias that you may have to deal with right now, Sagittarius rising, could be with making corrections within your family. Maybe you have to go back into the past and deal with family issues. But as with all rising signs, Saturn is a teacher, and there will be lessons connected with family and with your actual house. And who knows, you may or may not move after the 3 years of Saturn in Pisces. Okay, then the next sign we look at is Capricorn on the ascendant. And Capricorn, for you, Saturn and Pisces will be in your third house. So there could be issues with neighbors or just basically all around getting around. This is a time, Capricorn rising, where you may want to get out and about and you feel restless, but somehow you have other obligations, and especially dealing with what? Communications that will keep you very close to home, or there will be issues in your communications with others. And so some of your fears right now, Capricorn rising, could be literally in your connections with other people. Make sure you are very clear about what you say. And you may be afraid, because it's the communication house, that people will not get you or that they will not want to communicate with you or not. But yes, you of all people, Capricorn, because you are ruled by Saturn, will understand during this time some of the frustrations or phobias, setbacks connected with Saturn in Pisces. Just make sure anything you have to say or write is stated very clearly, because you do not want mix-ups right now, whether that's in travel, talking with people, writing, what have you. And also during this time, Capricorn rising, because it's also connected with transportation, do be cautious on trips, or you may be taking a lot of trips, and who knows, by the end of Saturn and Pisces, you may end up with a new vehicle, because the third house is also connected with vehicles, cars, trucks, and the like. Okay, so the next sign that we're going to look at is Aquarius on the rising. And Aquarius, you will have Saturn and Pisces in your second house. And right now, Aquarius, you will be revamping or seriously taking a look at your values and what has meaning to you. Saturn in Aquarius, this is a time when you may be taking a serious look also at your finances and your fears and your phobias right now. Saturn in Aquarius could be connected with not having enough money, and similar to those that have Saturn on the 10th house, you'll have to be a little bit leery, also connected with the 6th house as well, of overwork and strain, because you may be afraid that, at the end of the day, you're not going to have enough to pay your bills or enough in your savings. And so you overwork. It also could be a time that you switch jobs or careers, or you take investments very seriously. But just make sure with Saturn in Pisces, Aquarius, you don't overdo it. But nonetheless, Aquarius rising, this is the time that you're going to seek out what really means the most to you, what and who you value. And that after 3 years will give you the answer, and that yes may mean that you move on to or yes from people that you feel are outdated and no longer have value for you, and find a whole new different group of connections and friendships. Then we move on to, well, the sign of Pisces ascendant. And you, of all the signs or the rising signs, Pisces rising will very likely feel Saturn in Pisces presence the most. So for you, it's about making a transformation about who you are, your persona, your character, but don't be overly critical, Pisces rising, because with Saturn there, because it is connected with frustrations and restrictions, you may find that you are rather self-critical, and at times you lack self-esteem and confidence. But honestly, Pisces rising, Saturn in Pisces is about integrity. And you, of all the rising signs, Saturn will teach you about your character and about integrity. And you will come away from this time after Saturn in Pisces really getting in touch with who you are and knowing who you are of all the ascendants. But don't be afraid of acceptance. Why? Because Saturn is on your first house, Pisces rising. Your fear is that others may not accept you for who you are. But Pisces is very compassionate with Saturn, as in Saturn in Pisces over your first house. And you may find, Pisces rising with Saturn in Pisces now, that you are giving of yourself. And yes, sometimes that may be frustrating for you, but after Saturn leaves Pisces, you will find that you have won many admirers and friendships for your kindness, compassion, and your charity. Finally, Saturn in Pisces is about self-awareness. Yes, during this time, we may do a lot of self-discovery on our fears, but at the end of the day, we are going to do a great deal of soul searching and reach out to many with love and compassion. It's about developing our spirituality, our beliefs, and mostly with Saturn in Pisces, rest assured, after the next 3 years, it will be all about healing. healing each other, but most importantly, healing ourselves.